Hello, this is Kyo here from Manga Mommies Podcast. I was looking back at our episode 29 of how to take care of your manga, and I thought it needed a little bit more examples. So here we go. The first example we have here is the plastic cover, or plastic sleeve, just like the covers you see in comic book and card collecting. This is Get Backers, Volume 13. It is one of the ones you cannot find anymore, hence why it is in the plastic. As you can see, it is protected very well. Second, you have lamination. Now, when you laminate, you need to keep a close eye on how you properly install it and follow all guidelines. Please always use an acid-free laminate because the acid will eat the cover. As you see from my example here, this is the manga Chocolate. It is volume 8. It is the last in its series before it was discontinued. This was purchased from a library, so you can see where they laminated the top just above the binding. And due to them not covering it completely, the top is heavier, which made the binding of the cover weaker. As you can see here, someone tried to peel off the lamination from the corner. This is something you need to consider when doing this. Once you laminate, you lose most, if not all, of its value in the reselling and collector's world. This is considered damaged or tampered from its original state. Now, lamination itself is not a bad thing. You just need to consider and be careful with your steps. As you can see again, this is originally from a library. You can see the sticker on the artwork paper and it cannot be removed. Always fold the lamination over the cover's backing. This will create a nice sealed edge. Please remember, anything uncontrolled like extreme heat or cold weather can turn it to dust or cause stains, as you see here. Yellowing of manga, you can slow the process down, but it will happen with aging, like most paper. As you can see again, someone pulled the corner here and it damaged it to where I cannot fix that. Another example I have is to do nothing but stack appropriately and watch who borrows your manga. This is the manga Gals. Isn't she pretty? This manga is also out of print, but there was 10 volumes to the series. As you can see, she is straight, no bends, and when opening the manga, make sure that you open it just so. Sometimes your thumb can rest at the bottom for support with your fingers. You open it just enough to read it. Do not bend it in half, or else you will end up with a manga, or in my case, a returned one, like this, as you see Trigun. This was my first manga. The problem is I let someone read it in high school, aka borrow it. Dumb, I know. And this is how it was returned to me, where they shoved it into their book bag. As you can see, the poor man's been through it. And I'm still upset to this day, because I was never able to replace it before it went out of print as well. As you can see, it is pulled from the backing here, and I assumed he bent it back completely. I know I'm showing you this, and it hurts me as much as it hurts you watching, but it is a manga that I can show you since it is already in rough shape. Now let's talk about the most important thing when it comes to owning manga, your shelving department. You want a bookshelf that is thick or can support the weight of manga. Manga does get heavy. However, I can understand that pricing can be a problem, so if you are buying a lower price, thinner board starting out is just fine. However, as you see here, you want to make sure that the shelving does not have this pretty border around it. I know it is pretty, but it's only for show. You do not need this because you will need to be able to rotate or flip the board to keep it from bending in the middle. This can happen due to the weight. Also, keep in mind that as your collection grows, I recommend you build your own double stacking shelves. This helps with the weight distribution. My shelves are not built for double stacking, which is why you do not see an example of this. Bending boards on shelves will cause stress to the binds of the books. Also, as you see here, moving in a little bit, the manga does not touch the back of the shelving. See that my fingers can move between the book and the shelving back. You do not want this to sit all the way the back like this. Don't worry, I'll fix it later. You do not want it like this because it will cause more damage. Book lice is a thing. It will eat your pages and you will not be able to get rid of them so easily. And with manga, it needs to breathe to keep moisture from molding the pages in the back. Currently, I have manga out of the shelf, so that is why it looks so loose right now. But you want to be loose enough to be able to pull one out and put it back. Do not over tighten because it'll start to curve the bind just like so. I know it's been a trend to stack the pretty shelves of manga like this, but unfortunately the higher you go, the more weight is on the bottom that it has to handle. This can cause the manga to slightly curve over time, and again, it hurts the bind. Now, I'm not saying it's 100% wrong, but you need to make sure you rotate them back up to the standing position to give the binding a break. This is the only way that it'll stay in shape because you do not want weight on the bind. Moving on, this is Cardcaptor Sakura by Clamp. As you can see, it is in full Japanese. It is one of the originals, if not one of the first copies to come out. I'm showing you this one because this is a real big deal when it comes to manga protection. The fact of the matter is, insurance does not cover manga. You cannot get an insurance policy for your manga. So here's what you do. You need to make sure you have a list. I know it can be long for a lot of collectors, but this number here is what you will need to keep record of. This is the blueprint of the manga or any book in record keeping. This shows you what the manga is, how much it is worth. Insurance companies will ask for a list of property damage. You will need to have a picture of it before the damage. You can use this number here, but it is better if you use this one. Warning, they will try to lowball you. Some mangas are reprints and can go for as low as $1. You do not want that. Also, if you are renting, look into renter's insurance, as most insurances, if not all, do not cover your belongings on rented property. The only way you can get insurance on manga is if it is as old as the Bible and it is in some museum. Again, I'll show you in all her prettiness because she's so kind of adorable. So as you can see, it just comes down to what you want to be shelved and how to protect it. Unfortunately, my manga was in an uncontrolled storage environment for about 6 years due to things that was beyond my control. It took me some time to get them back into shape. Remember, life happens, and sometimes we just have to do what we can with the information that we have. The more you can do, the better you can in protecting your manga. If possible, I always recommend the cover sleeve method. It seems to have come out the best with the storage situation it went through. That is everything you need to know that I'm aware of to take care of your manga. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to our podcast. No matter the collection, big or small, here at Manga Mommies Podcast, we love to see them all. Stay tuned, and thanks for listening.